Okay, we're going to try this little Uncle John's band thing. First of all, I got to say, there's a lot of different ways to do Uncle John's band. Like, let's, there's the standard way. Let's put it down here. We got to change positions here. Okay, okay. And that's the G, B minor, C, D. But, you know, when you're out on the street doing street performer stuff, they do it a lot of different ways. One of the things they use is these basically Suzuki sort of method of doing it, where you put like just like 1, 2, 3. Not the looks like the baby bar chord, but it's just 1, 2, 3. So starting on F sharp, I have my index finger, then my middle finger is on the D on the B string, and then my ring finger is on the B flat on the G string. And there's a lot of different chords you can play, which are just like variations of that basic thing. But for Uncle John's band, you're going to go here, then up to the B fret, so 7th fret. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, yeah. And then do a little A. I think that's A augmented, not an A augmented, but A major. I don't know. It's basically, here's the basic A. You take that finger that goes on the A and then go back here, so it's on the G sharp. So that's like it's basically a D minus the middle finger here. E, C, that A, and then that. So anyway, there's a lot of different ways. Sometimes they even do that. That's hitting it. And then the G, and then that 1, 2, 3 on the G to really accentuate it. But but that's always the standard. But you're still going to want to maybe do that really weird Uncle John's band ending, because everybody knows. Maybe you might know the weird Bobby. But that's just basically the D chord played up in here in A, and then up to D, and then yeah, A, D, and then over here to sort of in G, G sharp, F, and beginning first F, and then up to A again. But besides all that weird stuff, which some of it is valid and some of it is just street performer stuff that you do to get attention, and then once you get the other musicians in there, you just do the standard. Because otherwise they get scared. Although I'm not going to do the classic stuff that they do for the Uncle John. If I'm in Uncle John's band, I'm just going to do some G stuff. I'm just going to do some basics. But as far as that weird ending for the Uncle John's band, here we're going to come into it. We want to make a sort of a triangle. I kind of drew this before, but here's my high-tech drawing here. You just basically here's the fretboard. Here's the fretboard with the let me try so you can see it. Fretboard with a little head there and thing. What you want to do, starting on your G, you want to make a triangle and then another triangle, basically a triangle. Then you're going to make triangles down here. And that's the way it's going to be. It's going to be these triangles, you know, and that's what it is. So, here we go. Here's how we're going to work that. So starting, I'll move this up here, and starting on the 1, 2, 3rd fret, right here on the G fret, you know, you got the, that's the G fret, so you can see it. And then up here, you're going to make a triangle with that. So obviously, that's a triangle. And this is the G, this is on the 3rd string down, which is the D string. So it's G, so G, and then G higher, next octave, and then down here, which is a D. So G, high octave, G, G, D, C, F, G. So you can see it maybe. And then the next one, obviously, if the triangle starts here, it just makes a smart little triangle. If you want right next to it, you go to the next string down. So you started on the bottom string, E string. Now you start on the A string in the same spot. Here's the G is on the 3rd fret. So here, I guess you're hitting C. So that's C, and then, you know, I'm not going to call each one. C if I have to, I guess, for the first beginning. So you're on the G string. So first you're on the A string, C, and then G, A. So it's like C, you know, just a simple triangle. And then the next one is where you're gonna the next triangle. Once you've done this triangle, the 2 triangles, you do go up to make the next triangle. Instead of starting on the G, you're starting on where you made the 2nd triangle. Except you make a higher triangle then. Then you make a higher triangle. And a higher triangle. One more higher triangle. And then finally at the end, you're right up here where it has the double dots. And you know that is the same as playing an open E. So obviously here on the G string is going to be G. So this is on the 1, 2, 3, 4th string down. And then you go up here, starting on the 1st dot. And that's of course the same notes you hit up here. So let's do the whole thing now. With the standard. Whoa, what I want to know, how does the song go? Except it doesn't repeat with the, you know, with a little come here. It just ends. You know, that's the long ending for Uncle John's band. And I just had to play that because you're not going to hear it anywhere. I think they only did it back at the acid tests in the very beginning, at that, you know, where they were just showing films and stuff of their little Merry Pranksters trip across America. And so I think you're just not going to see that anywhere. And you're just SOL if you want to try to hear this and you want to try to figure this out. So that's why I made it. I make things because I make music because what I want to hear isn't out there. I make instructional videos because what I want people to learn isn't out there anywhere for them to learn. So I learned this from deadheads and from people that play in the parking lot and do wild things to get attention. I realize that some of it is not exactly, exactly kosher with the way music is supposed to be, because but it's just like bringing your queen out in chess in order to really get attention. In order to, it's unorthodox, it's wild, it's crazy, but sometimes it actually does work if you back it up with the discipline and go and learn exactly what you're playing also, so that you can back that up, so that when you slow down with the musicians, you're not going to confuse them and scare them. It's just all over the place. So anyway, that's what I wanted to show you guys, and I hope that you can understand that and get a little enjoyment out of that. And imagine that being accompanied by a flute, and it's just really doing those wild things, or the rippling sound. It's really quite interesting, especially when you play it a little less rusty than I am, because I usually don't play all winter. I hibernate, and it's spring, so I'm only starting to play and wanting to grow my hair longer, as you can see, and starting to get the females and go out there and have some campfire parties and stuff, which is, if you ask me, way cooler than a bar. Okay, thanks a lot for listening. See you later.